And we are live here at the Navigate Creating You Broadcast Center with our fourth and final guest today. We have Conor and Miguel from Rhodeside Revival. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Laura. Pumped to be here.
Of course. Now, I've known you guys for quite some time, but I'm really excited to share your product and your services with the rest of Rhode Island because I think that it's making a big impact.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're happy to tell the world about it.
Of
I
course.
think we have something really exciting here.
I think so too. So tell me a little bit about your backgrounds, how you guys got interested in composting, and how you started Rhodeside Revival.
Yeah, so I have an environmental background. I have an environmental economics degree from the University of Rhode Island, which is where I happen to meet my partner here, Miguel.
Of course.
That's true.
So it kind of came about in the dining halls down at URI. We were noticing the mass amounts of food that was being just thrown into the trash and essentially wasted, heading to the landfill. We kind of gave it some thought. 5 years later, we decided to kind of make a business about this and make some change. We started with the Compost Club at URI.
Compost Club? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Didn't go too far because we were in our senior year of college, so we started it. We tried to get it going. There were a lot of barriers to it.
I'm sure.
We kind of left it at that, and 5 years later, we're like, well, let's try to do this.
Let's start it up, but
for
instead
real.
of a club, we'll make it real
exactly.
life. Yeah.
And so we started Rhodeside Revival. We pretty much bought some buckets and we got a truck and got on the road.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's awesome. So for those who don't know, tell me a little bit about Rhodeside Revival and the services that you're offering.
Sure. So we're Rhode Island's only local curbside composters. What we do is we partnered with a local farm down in Charlestown, a great spot called Earth Care Farm. They've been composting at that farm for about 40 years. So our big goal is to divert food and waste away from the landfill. So, pretty much now is it down to everybody can play a part in this.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So we come by your home either weekly or twice a month. We pick up your full bucket full of food waste, anything from the earth essentially. We leave it with a clean bucket for the week ahead, and we bring that food waste away from the landfill and back down to Earth Care Farm, where it is then composted into nutrient-rich soil.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we offered two services, and you can do it weekly pickups. We come by your home once a week, bring you our bucket. Should we show our bucket?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
let's show 'em.
All right, so this is it. This is our Rhodeside Revival beauty, the star of our program.
Star of the show.
Yeah, and we can do weekly pickups or twice monthly. And for weekly pickups, we charge $32 a month. For twice monthly, it's $23 a month. And then twice a year, we give back some finished compost back to customers.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is
kind of completes the cycle.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And we don't give a lot of compost back, but we give some,
Enough,
and
yeah.
that's the point, is to give back to the community. And if the customers do not want to compost, we can donate them to donate the finished compost to schools, farms of their choosing, even if they would
Oh,
like.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I grew up with a backyard in Providence where my dad was into composting, and he had this big compost pile, so
Awesome.
anything that we had in the house went into the compost pile, but it was a big chore for him. He constantly had to turn the compost pile, he had to maintain it. So what I love most about being a subscriber to Rhodeside Revival is that this is very easy, it's hands-off for me, and I really can feel good about, not letting all of that food go into the trash. So when
Absolutely.
I'm, making dinner and I'm chopping vegetables, all of those vegetable ends are going right into the bucket. Anything else that I'm making, instead of throwing it out into the trash, I'm putting it into the bucket, and then you guys take it off my hands. So, for those of us who live in Providence, and maybe you live in an apartment and you would want to compost, but you don't have the yard for a compost pile, you can do it very easily right in your own kitchen, right at home.
Pretty much let us do the dirty work. A lot of our customers have done the composting themselves, and by any means, we support everybody that has their own at-home compost setup. That's awesome. But like you said, it really is a dirty job. Sometimes it can be a little stinky.
You can find some critters living on the bottom of it.
true.
The rodents is
The odor
definitely a big issue.
Right, and another thing that we do that is really good is Earth Care takes everything that comes from the earth. So there are issues with having your own backyard compost. You can't really throw meats in there,
Right.
bones, dairy,
Right.
because it makes the process a lot more complicated.
Right.
So Earth Care takes everything, and that's another thing that is really, really good, and makes people feel good about what they're doing. Like you said,
Yeah.
is you can take everything that you consume all the leftovers and all your spoiled foods and throw everything in the bucket.
Okay, so
And
if I made last night's dinner and, or last week's dinner, and I want to throw it away, I can put that into the bucket.
Absolutely.
That's so cool. Is there anything that I cannot put into the bucket?
Well, everything that comes from the earth can go in the bucket.
Okay.
Really, anything that's synthetic, and it's, of course, you're not going to throw plastic into the bucket.
Right.
It's
I
not,
don't want to do that.
They can't break down.
Coffee filters and coffee grounds.
Coffee filters, coffee grounds, eggshells.
Tea bags, can that
tea
go?
Tea bags, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, paper towels. That's
Paper
a big one
towels.
that people
Right.
don't realize.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll take it
Single
all.
sheets of newspaper even can
Wow.
go. Yeah, really anything that comes from a natural source can go back into the soil, and
That is
we can
amazing.
make compost out of that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that people don't realize that you can put meat into the bucket because
Yeah.
you think that it would just be rotting, but it's actually going to be broken down at the farm.
Yeah, and we're fortunate because the farm that we partnered with, Earth Care Farm, they have such a big operation that essentially their compost heaps and their compost piles generate so much heat that the biological process can kind of burn everything away, and it just spreads it right down to the nutrients and it's turned back into soil.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, we all have those things that we're subscribed to. We all have Netflix and Hulu. You might have a T-shirt subscription that you get clothes in the mail every month. Why is subscribing to Rhodeside Revival the one that you can feel good about?
Because everyone's making a difference. I mean, for a couple cups of coffee a month, you get our subscription, and you're really making a significant change.
Absolutely. And not only are you feeling good about what you're doing, you're helping the environment. And climate change is a big topic nowadays.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And landfills are a big part of pollution.
Definitely.
All the toxic gases that are produced by the piles of waste that go into our landfill. Basically what you're doing by composting is taking away food that would just sit there and mixed with other materials that would just produce toxic gases,
Yeah.
and you're giving it a new life. And that's, I think, it's a great thing. You're really battling the global warmth. And
Right.
that's huge.
And Rhode Island has a particular, storage problem with our waste because we have one landfill.
One landfill for the whole state, and as we all know, it's the highest point in Rhode Island, so it's a
That is
growing
true.
pile.
Yeah,
So we're
yep.
trying to make it, not so high. We want to reduce that height of that big landfill, and we want to,
Absolutely.
put as much as we can into composting and natural, the process of it, and then we get some fertilizer in the end. Now, what can we use that fertilizer for? So you bring it to me. Should I put it in my garden? Should I put it on my lawn? What's the best use for it?
Sure.
That's up to you. I mean, basically, you can use it anywhere. It's a good growth inhibitor, so you can put it in with even your pots in the house.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Outside in your garden, you want to throw some on your lawn.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to be nothing but good, yeah.
And it's all natural.
All
So
natural,
none of that,
absolutely.
those yucky chemicals, that people spray and everything, and you put it on your
Yeah,
tomatoes,
of
and then you're
course.
having that in the food that you're eating. So this is all
Right.
natural that you're getting, and it's going to be good for your food.
Absolutely. It's all organic.
Absolutely.
That is
It's
awesome.
great stuff.
Definitely. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and telling us about how Roadside Revival can really help give back to the earth and do good, and you can feel good about doing it.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you
And,
so much for
could
having
I
us.
just add one
Of
little
course,
thing? So we are,
absolutely.
in terms of expansion, we are trying to reach the entirety of Rhode Island,
Mm-hmm.
and we are starting on April 1st, Healthy Soils, Healthy Seas Rhode Island, which is an initiative with 3 other entities from Rhode Island, which is a compost plant, Aquina Community Table,
Cool.
and this was the project started by Clean Ocean Access and supported by 11th Hour Racing. And really the goal is to get all of Newport and Middletown to compost in
Awesome.
general, from houses, homes to restaurants to hospitals, universities.
Absolutely.
The goal is to try to get those towns to do it, and then eventually all of Aquidneck Islands, and then eventually all of Rhode Island.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of growth to be had here.
Absolutely.
Of course, and really if you can get into those next steps, into the schools, into the businesses,
Mhm.
and to the restaurants, you think about all of the waste that goes on in, your local coffee shop or your favorite restaurant, all of that that's not being eaten is being tossed into the trash, and really that waste is building up quickly. So, if we can use your help to really eliminate that, it would be, so much a happier place and making Rhode Island a little bit cleaner, a little bit better.
Absolutely. We're here to help make a positive difference, so definitely give us a shout, guys. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Absolutely.
And where can we sign up for Roadside Revival?
RhodesideRevival.com. It's our website. Everything's pretty simple on there. Put in your credit card, give us your information, and you'll be signed into a subscription.
Yeah, and it's nice and easy. I swear, I'll come home on Friday and my bucket's waiting for me. I put it outside, bring the fresh one in, it's done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice and easy. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today and telling
Thanks for
us all
having
about
us.
Rhodeside
Thank you so
Revival.
much, yeah.
Please think about giving back to Rhode Island, giving back to the earth, and signing up for your curbside composting.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And until next